everybody. So I obviously already have my eyes done, so I wanted to kind of do just a get ready with me, my whole foundation routine. I did already moisturize, and I used the Ula Hendrickson this year transformation, and I really love this moisturizer. I use it AM and in the PM, so it's really good if you wanted to try it. We do sell it at Sephora. So I already moisturized, and I normally do the L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation just because I'm all about foundations that give like a radiant finish. But yesterday I actually tried the L'Oreal Infallible, the Pro Matte one, and I really did like it. I didn't use it with a primer, so it did last a pretty good amount of time though. But I'm going to go ahead and use the Cover FX, the illuminating primer, just to see if it kind of gives me just like a little bit of a glow. The all matte was perfectly fine. I just kind of wanted to see different things and see if it is going to be still a matte finish or if it's going to just give me like a little bit of a glow. It says it's a medium coverage. I did feel like it was a medium coverage. I do have to kind of build it. It's the same thing with the L'Oreal Pro Glow. You do have to like build it, but it does give a really good amount of coverage. And the texture, it says it's airlight, which I do agree. I really didn't feel like it was heavy or cakey, so I did like that kind of finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply the primer, and then I kind of just did like an easy everyday eye look. I used my Anastasia Renaissance palette, just did some mauve shades. I didn't do anything like too over the top. The finish that it gives is really like smooth, so I don't really use a brush with them. But I'm going to go ahead and apply this directly on my beauty blender. And the shade I'm using is 104 Golden Beige. It did kind of look like it was my color. It didn't match completely, but it's kind of hard to pick out drugstore foundations, so it was good enough for me. After I highlighted and contoured and all of that, it did kind of all settle in, so. And it didn't oxidize as bad as I thought it would, so the color did stay put, for any of you wanting to know. I'm just going to add like one more layer, just so I can get the coverage that I want. I do have a little bit of scars, so I do like to cover those a little bit more than the rest of my face. Bring it down to my neck. I am a little bit more tanner than I usually am around this time. I've been using like self tanners, so this foundation is a little bit lighter than my actual body, but like I said, once I bronze and I do all of that, it does kind of settle in a lot better. So, but there's the finish, and I really do like it. Let's see how that primer, that illuminating primer, kind of sets it all in though throughout the day. Okay, now I'm just going to go in and do my highlight and contouring. I'm not going to do, lately I haven't been doing cream contouring. I've just been using powder. I really don't ever do creams unless I'm like going out and I want my makeup to last all night. So today I'm just going to do like my basic everyday powder contour. I'm going to go ahead and highlight, and I like using the Age Rewind. This is also a drugstore product. I absolutely love it. This is what I use all the time. And I use it in the shade Light Pale. And it also is a treatment for dark circles. So, and I do feel like it has lightened them a lot. I don't really have a problem with dark circles, but I do have them. And I do feel like this does help a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight. I bring it in that little triangle shape, bridge of my nose, little on my forehead and on my chin. And I'm just gonna get my same damp beauty blender and just press that in. Same thing on my nose and on my forehead, chin, and I'm gonna do a little bit on my Cupid's bow. What is that? Okay. Now that that is in, I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier, the translucent powder. And I'm just gonna set my under eyes. The brush that I'm using to set is the Morphe M438 brush. And I'm just gonna go in one more time just to get those creases, because you don't ever want to set your creases. I like to leave my eye kind of open a little bit just so it doesn't set those creases. And I'm just setting very lightly. Since this is already a matte foundation, I'm not going to do too much because I don't want my under eyes to be like extra matte. Just very lightly dabbing. Very lightly. I do bake also, but today this is just like an everyday short quick look, so I'm gonna do another whole video on how I bake and all of that. So now what I'm gonna use to bronze my face, since it is kind of a little bit lighter, I'm gonna use the Too Faced Sun Bunny natural bronzer, and I'm using my Morphe E3 to kind of just bronze my face. And I'm gonna bronze where I normally contour, just to kind of give a little bit of warmth back into my face, since I do feel like this foundation kind of makes my face super ghostly looking. And you can see it really does help if you use a bronzer instead of just going straight into contouring. If your foundation's kind of a little bit off, you can really make any foundation work. If it's a light one, if it's dark, you kind of just gotta be a little bit harder. But if you have a lighter foundation, if you bronze, literally it makes a difference. So just know that. If you ever get a foundation and it's too light, just bronze. Okay. Then I'm gonna go in and kind of cut those cheeks. I'm using my Hoola Benefit bronzer, and I am using a Morphe 510 brush, and I'm just gonna do that right in the hollows of my cheeks, and I'm gonna keep it right closest to my ear, like literally right in the middle of my cheek. I'm not gonna bring it all the way down like I did the bronzer. And that's just gonna carve out my cheeks, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit on my nose. I usually do a more detailed contour on my nose, but like I said, today is just the easy everyday look. I'm just lightly dusting that over, just bringing a little bit more warmth on my forehead and my jawline. And then what I like to do is get my beauty blender that I used, the one that has a little bit of foundation still, and I like just going in and blending that all together just so there's no harsh lines and it all looks seamless. Then I go back in. This seems like a lot of steps, but trust me, it's not. It literally takes me like 5 minutes. And then I go in with that M438 brush that I used to set my under eyes, and I kind of just go under the hollows of my cheeks just to define that line just a little bit more, and it really does help cutting them out. So then I'm gonna go in and do just a little bit of highlighting because I have to highlight like every day. Today I'm going to use the Anastasia Glow Kit. It's my favorite, and I'm going to use a Morphe M501 brush, and I'm just taking these 3 shades, mixing them, dusting it off, and applying it to the high ends of my cheeks. Do a little bit on my nose, down my nose. Just get a little bit more, just because I can never go light on highlight. I always go freaking crazy with it. A little bit on the Cupid's bow. Then I'm going to take my Mario Badescu facial spray. I love setting my makeup with this when I'm doing just kind of like everyday looks. Not if I'm like going out. I don't feel like it makes my makeup last a while, but it does make my skin feel super hydrated, especially with it being really hot outside. So I'm just gonna spray that. That's okay. And I like spraying this after I get out of the shower too. After you like do your whole face cleanse, sometimes my face feels a little bit dry, which it's never dry, only after I wash my face. So I spray a little of that just to put some hydration back into it. Then I'm just going to take some Bare Minerals gloss. And that is the completed look. If you want to know what products I use for my brows, I use the Benefit whole little set, really. I don't know where the other product is I use, but I use Benefit. I'm like all for Benefit. I do use Anastasia also, but this was closest to me and I love it. So yeah, I just use all of the products that they have. But that's the finished look. I hope you like it, and thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. This is my first video, and I really hope you guys like it. I will do more detailed videos. I just wanted to kind of get one up and do like a foundation one, since a lot of people do ask what foundation I wear, how I contour, and all of that. But thank you so much for watching.